Hello, everybody. Welcome to Connecting with Jennifer Filzen. I have with me a very special guest that I met through the HVAC industry, Erica Leonor. Erica, welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, and I love your last name. Your last name has a certain beautiful flavor to it. Could you explain how you came about that beautiful last name of yours?
Yes. So my husband is from the Dominican Republic. And so we can pronounce it the gringo style, which is Leonor. We could pronounce it the French way, which is Lenoir. We could pronounce it the Spanish way, which is Leonor. So, we have a lot of different ways we can go about this last name, but it is a beautiful last name. And, I married him for his last name and that we have a cute baby. So, among other things, obviously the background, his gaming office that I'm in today. So, he's a great guy.
That is so cool. I love it. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about how we met. We were in Chicago and I watched you teach a class on sales, and you were amazing. In fact, as my husband Renee was asking, who are you going to talk to today? I said, oh, Erica. He goes, oh, she's the one with the really good class, right? I'm like, yeah, because he remembered. He's like, she did some role playing. I was like, yeah, that's her. That's her. So tell us a little bit about what you do professionally and how you got into teaching at HVAC conferences.
Yeah, so I love that. It was super fun to meet you. And it always is so nice, as you know, when you're presenting or you're training or you're speaking or whatever, like you just need that couple of people that you can look to in the audience. And it's like, okay, like if this is just for them, it's okay. And so you were one of those people that I knew was just like right there. You were engaged, you're right on it. So as a speaker, that just means so much to me, as I know you are also a speaker and a trainer, that when you have those people, it just makes things so much more fun and engaging. So
Doesn't it? Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So it was definitely fun to speak at that conference. And so I like my background in my life is very different than what you would have a typical maybe HVAC alumni, because I probably grew up calling HVAC Havok. It was just one of those things. I did not know a thing about thermostats or water heaters, or water was just hot. My dad took everything care of everything.
Right.
Bless him forever. He's
That's
awesome
funny.
dad.
Havok. I never thought of that one. That's funny. Am I mispronouncing it by saying HVAC?
No, it is HVAC, but it is. I've got Havok in there probably. I'm just
That's
kidding.
hilarious.
I just laugh at that because I just didn't grow up with it. I have so many like professional counterparts who grew up in the industry. Their dads were contractors, and it's a family business, and that wasn't me. And so, I was the kind of person that we actually moved around a lot when I was young. My dad was in the military. My mom's from Hawaii. I grew up in Hawaii with my grandparents, and then I was back in Utah. And we're getting fireworks when we say Hawaii. So that
I
is
know,
perfect.
right?
I know.
That-
Thank you, Zoom.
I love Hawaii too. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And how lucky you were to grow up there. Oh, do you
No,
get to go back and visit the family?
we do go back. We try to go at least once a year, and it's just in my heart, it's in my soul. I love Hawaii so much.
I
And
love
so I grew up with a lot of traveling, with a lot of cultural exposure, a lot of different things every time I went around the world. And I studied anthropology. So I was really into studying people and cultures. And I know you studied anthropology as well. And so we are two peas in a pod there.
Mhm.
And that just took me to travel all over the world. And I met so many wonderful people from all the countries I lived in and visited. And then I kind of came back to real life. I moved back to Utah and I was like, I gotta figure something out, and I would love to be a gypsy my whole life and travel the world, but it just didn't seem like it was the right fit at the time. And so I got a job working in HVAC, but I had a lot of like training and speaking experience. And so I've been teaching for years and years and years, and I was doing a lot of consulting and teaching. So I have that background, and it was really fun to just apply it to this industry. So I love HVAC. I love plumbing. I love electrical. I love the home services. Like this is my place now.
Yeah. And, truthfully, it's all about, making people comfortable in their own homes. Because when we don't have working plumbing, when we don't have working electrical, when we don't have working heating or air, it is miserable. Yeah, we quickly remember, "Oh, yeah, that's why I wanna live in civilization. I I like having these things working at the press
Exactly.
of a button." Right.
Yep.
Right.
So I absolutely love it, and I love being a woman in the industry as well. I feel like, connecting with other women, I'm so grateful for all the male mentors and leaders that I've had because they've taught me so much,
Of
but I'm so
course.
grateful for the female network that I have as well because you get a different kind of support, you get a different kind of friendship, you get, just that women empowerment feel when you see other women and you're like, I'm not the only woman in this room, and it's just really fun that you kind of get a little bit of best of both worlds there.
We are very, very fortunate. It's so true. I was so blown away when I went to that AHR Expo where I met you, that how many female engineers that are building these systems. And then, you go into I just came back from the ACCA in Orlando, the Air Conditioning Contractors of America. I still have to kind of like go through all the acronyms because like there's so many acronyms. Like, and then there's women in HVACR, which is what?
Yeah.
Heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration. Is that
Yeah,
it?
you got it.
Ah, I need to join that group too. But anyway,
Yes. We'll put a plug in for them. They're awesome.
yeah, but you're right though, like to see people grow and especially people that would not normally come up in it, it's like or even those I met some amazing people who were like second generation, third generation, fourth generation of like they grew up in it and yeah, this is the family business and they've taken it to such heights. It's really impressive.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely a big, small world in this industry, and there's so many opportunities, so many different things and ways that you can truly grow in your career and your personal growth in this industry of things that I never would have thought of before. And so there's room for everyone in this industry.
Well, I adore you. I adore how you've been so welcoming, and I look forward to someday collaborating with you because I think that would be fun.
Heck yes, let's do it.
Yes. So let's talk about you, though. What makes you special and unique? I mean, there's a lot there to unpack, but what do you think it is that makes you special and unique?
I'm sure everyone is always like awkward with this question, right? Because they're like, oh,
Always. It's my specialty. Make everyone feel awkward, but still, it's a good thing to be put on the spot with like such an open ended question because you never know what you're going to come up with, right? It's unpredictable.
exactly. It is. And when you think about it, you're like, well, I don't want to brag or anything. But when you think about it too, it's what kind of value do I have to offer people? Like, why would anyone ever want to work with me or have, a business relationship or network with me or anything like that? And so my biggest thing is like, I always think of that Mary Kay Ash quote where it says, just imagine a sign around everyone's neck that says, make me feel important today. And I'm not perfect at this. And I go and I ebb and I flow in this, but I try to write thank you notes to people. And if I don't have their address, I try to do texts like just sending out a compliment or I'm thinking about you or thank you for doing this or I noticed you did this. And just making people feel important and special and confident and that they have what it takes to be awesome at whatever it is that they do. Just empowering people to believe in themselves. Because I've had that for me. And I feel like it's part of this thing where you pay it forward. And if you can help build other people and show them how awesome they are, and you watch them grow. I read this thing from John Maxwell. So I am John Maxwell certified. And so I just recently did a leadership training for him and from one of his books that I'm certified in. And one of the things that he mentioned in his book was that do you let other people take credit for what you taught them?
Mm.
And I feel like that is such a big sign of being a true leader and being a true influence on somebody is that, as much as we all love to be recognized, like, yes, I taught that person or I mentored her, whatever. And, there's just that happiness that gets inside of you when you do that. But when you see that they are now teaching or talking about the same thing you taught them, like just letting them roll with it, letting them take credit for it because now you know that they are paying it forward to somebody else. And so that really hit me strong is like, I want to do better at that is when I teach and now can become somebody else's idea and let them run with it because, there's always room for everybody in everything we do. So
I love that about you. But then also too, there are some other really cool things about you. I mean, you have been a world traveler.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the perspective you have on life because of that experience.
Yeah, that's something that I feel very blessed to have had in my life. And I studying anthropology, I wanted to not just study cultures from a classroom, I wanted to make it real. And so I worked with my school and they agreed to let me go on study abroads and do different internships and they would count that as my credits because they're like, you're getting real world exposure. It's way better than sitting in a classroom reading a book. So my first big trip, I was teaching English at a school in the islands of Tonga, or Tonga, as some people say, at Leohona High School. And so I was teaching English and music and history to high schoolers. Then after that, I did a study abroad in Israel, where I lived in Jerusalem for 4 months. After that, I flew to London and I lived in England for 3 months and studied all the history and culture there. And then even after I graduated, I was like, okay, what's next? And I moved to China, I moved to Malaysia, then I moved to Mexico and then I married a Dominican. So I just feel like I need the world in my life.
That is
Uh,
amazing.
Now I don't get to move and live places, but I still get to go on vacation everywhere and it still fills my soul. So,
That is a real blessing to have that opportunity. I always had wanted to become the world traveler, but I'm going to be honest, I never really had the money to do things until I became an adult. So my way of world travel was, of course, to read and study up, but then also to find that cuisine and then get to know the culture through the restaurant and the food, which is
Mhm.
I mean, it's my way of eating around the world, but I do it domestically in California.
And you get everything in California, so it's great.
Almost everything. There are some things you can't get. But no, truly, it is kind of cool that you've had that experience. Now, you've had some highs and you've had some lows. You've had some health issues to conquer. So when we have these ups and downs within our life, it forms us. It forms our why. And it's easy, especially with a major health crisis, that it's easy to just roll over and say, I give up, right? I don't want to get out of bed. But every day we have a choice to get out of bed, and there's always a why behind that. And so I'm just curious, Erica, what is your why in today's 2024 version of yourself?
I love that. And I've been learning a lot about just how our personalities are shaped and a lot of people think we're born with personalities and to an extent we are. But major events that happen in our lives shape our personality, like graduating high school or getting a certain job or getting married. My personality 100% changed from the moment I had a baby. I was now a mom, and now the most important thing in my life is raising that little girl. And so all of these big events in our lives shape part of our personality and who we are and who we want to become. And we can decide who is going to be, how do I say that? Who am I going to be from this experience? And so recently, last year, it was actually almost exactly a year ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And so I just hit my 1 year diagnosis anniversary. And within the last year, like I've gone through chemo, I've had 3 surgeries with another one coming up. I've gone through radiation, I've gone through immunotherapy, I've gone through tons of stuff, plus more to come with specialists and side effects of the side effects of the side effects. And, it definitely is something where it's like I never thought cancer would be part of my life. And it was at a very young age. And I was diagnosed with a cancer that happens typically in women under 40. And so I just had a baby and I was like, "Oh my gosh." And I work at an amazing company right now called Good Leap. I absolutely love Good Leap. It's a financing company for home services, HVAC, roofing, windows, the whole works. And every single person was so supportive and loving and caring. And I couldn't have asked for a better support group from work, from my Good Leap team. Like everyone has just been so, so kind and understanding. And so I just that says a lot about that company right there is how people treat you when something happens. And I have a great support system at work.
That's
And
amazing.
but then also all my industry friends, from where I serve on the board of directors for women in HVAC, all of the board and all the women just rallied around me. All the people that I've taught throughout the years for CSR coaching and training, people reached out to me, sent me presents and gifts and flowers. Like I couldn't be more humbled by the love and outreach that people shown me. And so My why comes down to it makes me think of a song that we sing in church called "Because I have been given much, I too must give." And it's a beautiful hymn for those of you that go to church. It just that's what I thought of immediately when I thought of my why is because I've been given much, I too must give. And all the blessings and all of the amazing opportunities and experiences and people and relationships in my life, being a mom, being a wife, being whoever I am to somebody else is I want to give. And that's if cancer has taught me anything, it's that it really is about giving and helping other people. And so, sometimes it's hard that you have to have such a drastic experience in life to
Yes.
really have that perspective.
Yes.
But, you know, I'm grateful for it.
Well, I tell
That
you,
is to say sometimes.
you're a year in and you're not
Yeah.
done yet. But let me tell you, the the effervescence and the positivity and the sparkle that you still have. You
Mm.
haven't curled up and said, "I quit." You're just getting started. And I know that you're gonna be around for a long time because you have a beautiful daughter to raise. How old is she now?
She's 2.5.
Right
So
on. Yeah, yeah, and I know you wanna be around for a long time so you can be with her, and we don't know what the future predicts, but I just love how you're just like, I'm in it. I'm in it." And it didn't stop you. I mean, you were teaching in Chicago when it was below freezing weather and you put on one of the best classes. So like, come on, girl. Like that's impressive. And it really shows your zest for life and your zest for living what you speak of, living what you sing in the hymn. It's just beautiful. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And it just you're such an inspiration to many, and I hope you see that.
no, thank you. That's so sweet and so kind. Thank you, thank you. And I find it hard sometimes to as we all do, like, okay, accept the compliments, but I'm learning to say thank you because I want to be the kind of person that others can come to for support or as a resource or can you connect me with this person or I somebody in my family just got diagnosed with cancer as well. What could I do for them? Like, how do I be a caregiver? Or, if it's professional, how do I work with financing? How do I work with customer service training? Or, I just want to help, and we all, I don't know, I can't remember this lady, but she gave a TED talk. I'll have to look her up. But one of her, these TED talks that I watched, she said, I bet you that anything that you want in your life could be solved by somebody in this room. And so she picked out 3 different people and she said, "What do you want?" And the person said, "I need this, but it's really complicated because I need this and this and this." Basically, she needed someone to caregive her special needs daughter so that she could go on a cruise or something. Or her goal was to go on a cruise. And so one person said, "Well, I'm a nurse. I'll take some vacation." And the nurse went. And then somebody's like, "I just won tickets for a cruise." And it was just very interesting, this TED Talk live, that the goal that this person had was answered by other people. And when
Wow.
you think about it in our lives, everything that we want in life, we have to work for it. And as we work for it, the right people will come into our life to help make it happen. And so I think we should all be that kind of person is like helping other people get those goals and that we're going to be put in people's lives at the right time when they need us to help them get to that last little leg that they need after they worked so hard. I don't know. Does that make sense?
No,
Like,
it makes a lot of sense. In fact, it reminds me of something that one of my mentors, Leslie Bruin, she was the woman who locally here in Monterey, California, she hosted a women's wealth group. And we all learned more about money and how to make it and how to invest it, how to spend it, how to budget it, all that fun stuff. And she was saying that in different phases of your life, you'll be in like, think of traffic lanes, right? You'll be in the slow lane. You'll be in the slow lane doing everything yourself. You're still like learning things, try to figure it out. And then you get a little bit more knowledge. And then you move over into like the middle lane. You might even get in the fast lane, but you're really cooking when you have other people on your vehicle and you go in the diamond lane because you're doing it with other people, whether it be with other people's money or with collaborations and partnerships. And I just so as you were
love
saying that, I was
that.
like, "Diamond Lane,
I love
Diamond
that.
Lane."
That's seriously, I'm gonna take that away and keep it in me like, "Okay, like, who's gonna be in my carpool diamond lane with me? Like,
Right?
how are we gonna make this happen together?" That is so awesome. We're
Look
gonna
at you. You're just helping me with all of the emotions today. It's just so cool. We got fireworks, we got love, we got all that. Uh,
hearts going
in
on.
fact in fact, here's a funny little confession. So years ago, when I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area, dealing with heavy traffic in Silicon Valley and diamond lanes, like you always wished that you were in the diamond lane. And when you do have that rare opportunity where it's two or three of you in one car, I created a song. I'd be like, I'm in the diamond lane. I'm in the diamond lane. I'd sing this happy little song as I'm in the diamond lane. And then I'd also sing as I'm passing by all these people in standstill traffic. It sucks to be you. It sucks to be you. And you yeah.
You sound like a Broadway musical. I love it.
It's just me being silly. I think that's just pent up frustration when you are stuck in nose to tail
Yeah.
traffic for hours.
Yeah. Well, do people know I'm sure they do because 'cause they've listened to your podcast from the beginning, but do people know your musical background? Because I think it's fascinating and I love it.
Oh, thank you. Well, it is funny. Is like when I first was doing it and I was heavily promoting it, I was talking about it all the time. Like some people were like, "Yes, Jen, I know. You don't have to tell me again." But it's funny because I haven't told as many people. And when I was at ACCA, I had a couple people where I did get to share the story because they're like, "Rockstar HVAC Marketing. That's such a great name. Why is it Rockstar?" I'm like, "Well, glad you asked. I happen to be a bona fide certified Grammy qualified rock star." And they're like, "What?" Like, so, and then like looking at me because a middle aged woman from the suburbs. Like, how the heck does that happen? Yeah. And that's again my point. If I can do it, you can do it. Right.
I
So,
think that is so cool about you though, is that once again, we can come from any different background and we can choose to be successful in what we do. And you come from rock star, literally being a rock star at Grammys, like in a band singing, and you have a beautiful voice and you're an HVAC, and people are like, how did that happen?
I know, I know.
Quote
See,
anthropology, how does that happen?
I know. It's just funny. Well, what it goes to show is that, you know, uh, how fortunate we are, right? We are in the 21st century in the United States. We're women. There are several things that are not in women's favor. However, we are standing on the shoulders of those that came before us, women and men who have worked hard to allow us to get to this level of progress. Let's hope it doesn't slide backwards further. But, momentum and progress always moves forward, even if it might be delayed with a speed bump or regressive things. But the point that I'm trying to make is, you know, how fortunate are we that we have so many opportunities before us that we are able to choose the things that interest us? I mean, anthropology, aren't people fascinating?
So
I
cool.
love people. I just love people, which is why this podcast was born because I was missing people so much during COVID. I'm such a social animal that I needed to have something, and this was that thing. And here we are. And now I can help other people promote their businesses or whatever they want to promote, their books, their lifestyles, their whatever they're doing. It's just so much fun, getting to meet all these great people. But I
Yeah.
tell you, it is so cool, isn't it, that we not only get to choose our paths in this very circuitous yet forward moving way of like, yeah, I have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it creates a career jambalaya, right? Which then leads me to my next question, my darling Erica. When you look at your life, who do you serve in your life? Now, I think of different layers of an onion. There's like the internal group, and then there's the different rings of the people that are later on in the community at large. Please share with us. Share those that you serve in your life.
Yeah. That is such a sweet question because it makes me just think about, who's in my closest little bubble here. And of course, that's my family, right? And everything that I do is for my 2-year-old girl to grow up, be successful, have the tools and the mindset that she needs to be a rock star at whatever it is that she's going to be. And supporting my husband and loving him, and then my siblings, my parents, and I think it just expands from there. But, one thing that I is hard as a parent sometimes is when you see your kids struggling. And I talk about this sometimes of, "Oh, I don't want them to go through pain. I don't want them to struggle." But when I look at my life and I see all the struggles that I've gone through, I wouldn't be the person I am without them. And there's something to be said for the struggle. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna let her go and put her hand on the hot stove kind of
Yeah.
thing, but I've let her put her finger on a candle, and like, "Ooh, it's kinda hot," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but my goal and really is embracing some of that struggle because a lot of the struggle comes like cancer, like you can't plan for it. And some struggle we have is not like good struggle in a way, like beating cancer, but some struggle is good struggle. Like when we have a big goal and we want to just get to the next level on something, we want to make a little bit more money, or we want to, have something in our lives. It's always a struggle a little bit to fight for that and to work for it and to get that goal. But when we get it, it's absolutely like so liberating. And so, when I think about just, and I know that's a little off topic there, but when I think about my daughter and my husband, how I want to serve them is be the support and kind of be like the nag sometimes, like, come on honey, you can do it, but also let them go through their own little struggles so that when they reach that moment of, hey, I figured it out, like I'm potty training right now, it's a struggle for everyone at my house,
Oh,
but the
oh,
second she figures it out, like the struggle, she's like, I got it, and she's gonna be awesome, and so, I think it just branches out. I want to serve, that my family, but when I look at our industry in this home service industry, I want to serve contractors and I want to serve their distributors and their manufacturers to help everyone have a good financing solution. But I also want to help serve people on the customer experience. That customer experience encompasses so many, every little bit and piece of your business influences your customer experience. I love training CSRs. And when I talk about CSRs, they don't always get the same recognition or the same time and training investment as other areas of the business. And so I want to serve them. I want them to feel empowered and like give them school tools and skills that they need. But also, I want to help develop leaders. So that's a very loaded question there. I could just not stop.
you're right though. Customer service representatives get crapped on a lot. And yeah, I'm glad that you're there to help coach them, help improve sales, help them kind of navigate what it's like to be an exceptional customer service rep because oof, I think of all the CSRs in the world. Think of it, the people at the post office, the people at the airport. Oh, the people running that desk or running anything at the airport. Um, the people in HVAC, the people in auto repair, the people on the phone, answering the phone for whatever it is, your credit card, your whatever. Oh my goodness. Let's all bow down and give thanks to the customer service representatives because
Yes.
you'd be thankless.
And it's like, some people have this mentality of like, how hard is it to answer the phone? And it's like, well, there's strategy involved. And when you look at the CSR call handling or, counter representative, it's have a process, have a strategy in place. And so one of the things that I love doing right now actually is taking that CSR training background and combining it with financing. And so I love working with CSRs of let's get people pre-approved for loans over the phone. Here's how you can do it. Here's how you can create value in this. And then you're even setting up your technicians and your comfort advisors for success, or your plumbers or your electricians. And it's like, hey, they got approved for X amount of dollars, like when you get out there. And then it makes their sales process so much easy. So it's just this piece to the puzzle that I feel like people are missing out on. And I just love combining all of these things together, and which is the umbrella of customer experience. So
I love it. I
yeah.
love it. And then also too, because you have so much wisdom, I want to hear what kind of wisdom you have to share with the world. So if you could give any advice to anyone, what advice? So you could make it industry specific, or you could just make it, new moms or whoever you want to give advice to, or just, the human condition. What advice would you give?
Well, I know this might sound controversial, and I don't know if you're gonna cut this out at all, but
I won't. I'll keep it the way it is.
I would say find a higher power. Find something to believe in that is greater than yourself. I have God, I have Jesus Christ, I have this higher power that I know helps me get through my life. But I have, once again, throughout the world, so many amazing friends that believe in their own version and of God or their own higher power, and I completely love and respect them for that. But they have something they believe in, that they trust in and have hope in, that gets them through the day, helps empower them to make better decisions in their lives. And that would be my advice is if you are lacking in belief of some higher power or something greater than yourself, if you want to believe in the mountain, then believe in the mountain next door, but believe in something bigger than you that can help you grow in your life. And I but this is coming from America, so that's what I'm saying.
I love it. I love it. And also, too, let's not forget this is coming from Erica, who has studied multiple cultures
Mhm.
around the world, and this is what resonates with Erica. But I love how you've phrased it so kindly. It's like, yeah, whatever your higher power is, yeah, go for it. Because, you
Yeah.
know, I agree with you. I'm studying so much right now about different types of religions and theology, and it's just amazing, the belief systems and the law of attraction, and
Yeah.
even in metaphysics, quantum mechanics and quantum physics. It's like, okay, well, you can call it God. Other people might consider saying it's a infinite force field of infinite possibilities. Whatever you want to call it, it's bigger than you. Just
And
like the
some
ocean, like every time I go out kayaking, I recognize that I am just a little tiny itty bitty person in the ocean. And
yes.
I better not think that I'm bigger than Mother Nature because she's going to kick my butt.
Yes, that's the whole point is just having this belief in something bigger, and, even if you read, like you were talking about, the law of attraction and manifestation or believing in your higher self,
Yeah.
what would your higher self do in this situation? What would the best version of yourself? And I know some people believe stuff like that, and if you've ever read Eat, Pray, Love or Elizabeth Gilbert, she talks about
Yes,
that too,
love
so once again,
her.
it's one of those things where there is something bigger out there. There's a bigger energy, there's a bigger force, and whatever that looks like for you, latch on to it and let it help guide you in your life to achieve your goals and dreams. And we're not here to be average. We're not here to just have an average life. Like we're here to make our life into something joyful and amazing.
Oh,
So
I love it. Oh my gosh, this is why I so love you. I love you so much.
I
You're
love you too.
so
You're so awesome, Jen.
Okay, so make sure that everyone knows how to get of the fabulous Erica, and I'm going to say it in the Dominican way, Leonor. Although Lenoir is also kind of sounding really cool. But anyway,
Yeah.
could you please share with us your contact information so everyone can get a hold of you if they want some more goodness and advice and
Oh,
financing?
yes, whatever you need. I'm here like if you want to talk about like gratitude practices, I could talk to you about that all day. I could talk about goals, I could talk about vision boards, I could talk about financing. I can talk about anything. So if people just want to talk, I'm a talker. You know how it is. So really on LinkedIn, just look up Erica Leonor. I love to connect with people on LinkedIn and share things on LinkedIn. You can also find me on Instagram, which is Erica Leonor Life, where I share a little bit more of my personal journey through cancer and getting through some of those things there. And then there's also my email address, which I'm sure we can post in the show notes because I'm not going to try and spell it out right now. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. I love it. I love it. And once again, tell us about your business and how to reach your business as well.
yes, so Good Leap Financing. Just Google Good Leap, like you're leaping for joy. Take the Good Leap, and we will help you with financing. There's Women in HVACR as well, if you want a wonderful women's organization. And then, just customer service training and or online courses or videos, just reach out to me for those ones. So,
I love it. Oh,
yeah.
amazing.
This
Thank
has
you
been so
so
fun. I just got to say thank you, Jen, for doing this and for loving people like the way that you do and starting
much.
this when you realized like I needed that social connection, and I think that you resonate with so many people because so many people need that too, the
Oh,
connection with others. So thank you for doing what you're doing,
ah,
for being a rock star at life, for rockstar HVAC marketing, and anyway, big shout out to you, and you can tell everyone how to find you too.
oh my gosh. Here, take my money. Just take my money, hype girl. I love it. Hype girl. Oh my gosh. How can you not be in love with Erica? Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed getting to know Erica. I hope you will contact her. She is such a dynamo and a little sparkle. She's just such a sparkle. So, if you have any questions for her, if you want to learn about financing and how to improve money in your own life, oh my gosh, there's so much that she can talk about. In fact, I'm just my brain is just like, and we can do a class on that, and we can do a class on that, and we can do so, like you and I. Oh my god, I can't wait. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.